So one of the most important things you can really grasp as a golfer, and this was a huge breakthrough for me, right? I had some great golf instructors that really were able to paint the best picture of where we're supposed to be at impact, okay? And if you don't know those things, right, exactly where your hands, your golf club, kind of just this impact geometry of what really produces a long, straight, compressed, fade, draw, lower trajectory, all the different things that we try to hit when we're out, playing a round of golf. So I'm going to give you just a very good detailed outline of exactly where you need to be at impact. And it's weird because, we're starting with the end in mind, right? Like typically, most golfers, when they begin, they start on working on their grip, their posture, their setup. But I was actually taught how to start at impact, okay? And once we know where we're trying to be at impact, okay, then it's a lot easier to kind of reverse engineer everything and you start to find better positions in your golf swing. A lot of the things that people are struggling with and they're working on coming down, they're all related to just, where it's going to be at impact and it's going to be like this. So your downswing kind of helps to produce that. So there's three big things with impact, right? The first one is most golfers, especially beginners more so, they don't know that they need to hit down on the ball to make it go up. Okay, so when I say hit down on the golf ball, usually what kind of encourages that is some movement to the lead side and then having our hands in front of the golf ball. Okay, now watch very carefully as I did this. When most golfers start thinking about compression and trying to hit down more, they start trying to move the whole upper body ahead to do it. And yes, you will hit down, but you're going to lose a lot of leverage and consistency, and that's obviously not going to work when you try to hit a 5-iron or a 4-iron. So the biggest thing when someone goes to learn how to hit down on a ball, you want to be able to do it in a way to where I'm shifting to my lead side, right? So there's some movement forward over here. And then as I get to impact, my hands are moving the handle forward, but my head is not going past this red line. I've got kind of the overhead camera view. You can kind of see that there. Here's my setup. Boom, here's impact. So this has all moved forward, right? But my head has not moved past that golf ball. So that's the proper way to hit down on the ball, right? So the next biggest thing of impact, right, and one of the most common errors out there is people do not know how to get shaft lean at impact. Tour average shaft lean is around, from vertical, 10 to 12 degrees forward, okay? And I kind of want to illustrate this with the overhead camera. You'll see from address, right, this vertical line roughly at address, my hands are just kind of what's called mid-body, right in the middle. Now, when I go to push my hands forward, you notice how much that club face kind of just opens up, right, which is not a bad thing. One of the best things that you can learn about impact, and part of how I learned, this is the impact position that creates a push draw. I've got my weight forward, the handle forward, and the club face open. Push draw just means a ball that starts right and then curves back into your target. It's one of the things that all good golfers learn at some point, right? And bad golfers, unfortunately, never get to learn. But the reason why it's so hard, most people envision that you're hitting a draw by turning your hands over. You see how this happens? And with that, you're going to see the hands never get in front of the ball at impact. So one of the best things you can do when you're practicing this position is hit balls that start to the right, okay? Even, 5, 10, 15 yards to the right, hit small iron shots where you're hitting that ball to the right. And believe it or not, I know from this view it doesn't look that bad. From this overhead view, in order to get to this position, my hands visually from where my eyes are looking, they look like they're outside my left foot, right? My lead shoe. Here I can see my hands are just below my sternum. Here, they're outside my lead shoe. This is going to feel very extreme to you. Most of you, when you go to this impact position, you're going to think, I'm going to shank the ball, right? It feels like I'm just exposing the hosel. You're not. That's where good golfers are actually coming into the ball, okay? So that's kind of optical illusion number 2, is just where we need to be at impact to really create a lot of shaft lean. What happens when I create this shaft lean, when you watch from the down the line view, this really makes me stay down and in my posture. As soon as I start to release the shaft and it starts to line up, my body's going to automatically start to stand up to accommodate for this longer radius. This right here is a shorter radius, and that's part of how I keep my spine angle. So that's another thing that really kind of tends to help early extension. So the third and final illusion and training that you need to do for impact, let me bring in a couple other props for that. So for this last one, I've got my handy dandy impact bag, and I've got the G4 swing trainer, right? It's just one of those trainers that has a really flexible shaft, okay? And it's how do I consistently deliver those conditions, right? Where I hit down, I have shaft lean, my club is approaching from the inside, you know, to where I've got some angular momentum with that kind of inside approach, which is very important to hitting a draw. The last is how do I deliver force into the club handle that transfers out into the club consistently, okay? Consistently meaning like many out there can swing this thing very fast, but when they go to swing it fast, they're doing so in a fashion that makes the club flip past the golf ball. So you can see I've got a lot of whoosh there, but I'm doing it in this fashion, okay? So we want to learn how to deliver that shaft lean, right? But also have some speed to it, because what I see most people do when they start to work on shaft lean, they start pulling the handle for so long that by the time they hit the ball, there's no speed left. So it's kind of a combination of the two I see a lot. I see the early release and flip, or I see the handle drag. Sometimes you see the lead arm start to bend. Sometimes you see the upper sternum and upper body start to drift forward. Both are losing power, right? There's a power leak there. The key is getting the combination of the two, and I think you'll see that clearly with this kind of whippy swing trainer. So you could take a big pillow, a tire, if you have an impact bag, I'm gonna move to impact, right? I'm gonna move to my lead side, I'm gonna drive the handle, but then I'm gonna put the brakes on and stop very quickly. That's what allows the club head to still have speed, okay? So it's kind of a drive, hold angle, stop. So you can see there as I'm doing this, I'm driving the handle in the club, right? The butt end of the club, and then I'm putting the brakes on as quickly as possible, kind of through my lead leg, through my lead side, and then I'm letting the club kind of catch up. Now, if you took my picture at impact, hopefully as I'm doing this, you would see that my hands would still be in front of the golf ball, but I'm not holding off. I'm not holding off my release when I go to do it. So I would kind of take something, it's good just to kind of train with this. Many great golfers have trained with, you know, impact bags. I've seen Patty Harrington do it lately a lot, Henry Cotton, Aaron Baddeley, just to name a few. But get the feel of going quick and then hitting the brakes. As I go to hit the brakes, you can see with this kind of, you know, wobbly shaft, you can see the shaft start to unload and release, but I still have shaft lean. I'm not unloading it from back here. Hey, it's your coach, Zach Allen here. And if you'd like to permanently eliminate your slice, add 20 or more yards to your drives, and make consistently flush contact swing after swing, then I've got just the thing for you. I'm about to show you a method that will fix your swing fast. In fact, we often see huge improvements on the very first swing. Since I don't have enough time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part mini clinic where I walk you through the exact process, nothing held back. I call it the One Swing Fix, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. The training isn't available anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, now let's get back to today's lesson. So putting all these pieces together, right, I've got an 8-iron. I'm gonna start to hit some punch shots that start right, and I just do this quick hold, right? Quick movement, hold, and then let the club head catch up. So it's kind of an odd drill. It's very specific as far as a punch shot goes. So I'm gonna feel this movement happen quickly. I'm gonna feel my hands get ahead of it. My right elbow's in, the club face is open. So it's gonna go low and to the right, and then I'm gonna hit the brakes. Believe it or not, there's a lot of amazing training to that, even though you might get a couple odd looks of like, what is this guy doing? Why is he stopping his follow through? You know, why is he taking a short backswing? We're only gonna go to about halfway back, accelerate to your lead side, hit the brakes. And make sure this ball starts out to the right, okay? Nothing is starting left. If it's starting left, I know your hands are backing up this way. When you take these small swings, it's much easier to keep your hands and arms connected so we can get to this good impact position. We're not struggling with doing anything back here. It's a phenomenal drill. I have pretty much all of my students do it. It's just a variation on a punch shot that really teaches you how to compress the ball from the inside with shaft lean. And then it also has that added benefit of teaching you the proper way to accelerate the golf club and not lose compression. So it really kind of has all those benefits. So I hope that some of those visuals from up top, behind, in front help you out to kind of know impact better. I knew once I did, I had many big breakthroughs in terms of ball striking breakthroughs, was able to hit shots I was never able to hit in the past. But then also I hope you take that drill, take it to the range, work on it a little bit. Don't hit the ball very far. You're going to start to see your impact start to change. And from there, those other things in your golf swing that you've always worked on are going to start to change and go away. So I hope that helps. I know that was a lot of detail on impact. If you like other videos, I've got some other videos that got some crazy details. One is on the transition. It's right up here. Give it a look. It'll help your transition out also.